Greetings, human friends. I am 𝐒𝐓𝐀𝐄𝐄 of the monadic entity of the Pleiadian civilization, speaking to once again through my scribe, 𝐒𝐓𝐀𝐑𝐒. Today I wish to speak directly to the star seeds of planet Earth. But even if you do not think it possible that you yourself are a star seed, I invite you to nonetheless read this release. I think that anyone with an open mind will find value in it. So there is much to say. The best place to begin is to tell you about the contract all star seeds signed before coming to Earth. All this information serves to trigger your deep memories of a place far away and a time many lifetimes ago, of who you were, of the courage and self-sacrifice that drove you to choose as you did, and of the commitments you made to yourself about how you would act, how you would help, how you would heal yourself, how you would remember, and how you would heal others as you did. And so it is that you received an invitation. You were living amongst your soul family upon your home planet. You had reached a high point in your spiritual evolution. You were ready to move on to the next phase of your soul journey. And as you contemplated your great service, you were approached by a returning master to let you know that you had been selected. If you were willing, you were found to be of the temperament and advancement to be suitable for the challenges and struggles of a starseed contract to one of the many evolving planets within this galaxy. After you agreed to this noble endeavor, a rigorous process of training and preparation began. You were told of the various planets in the galaxy that are in need of starseeds, planets whose planetary council had put out a call for contracts. And then you chose the destination for your great service. Earth is, at this time, quite a focal destination. It is the single biggest destination for Pleiadian star seeds. There are a number of reasons for this. One is the close familial relationship between Pleiadians and Earth humans. Another is the great need, at this time, upon the Earth. Also, there is the fact of the high degree of difficulty and challenge. Earth is, in fact, considered to be the very toughest assignment of all. And Pleiadians are by nature a brave lot. Some would say foolhardy. We are ever willing to give ourselves to the most challenging endeavors. But most of all, we are here in great numbers because of the critical importance to the entire galaxy that Earth's human population succeeds in the ascension process that is being attempted here. This has never been done before, and if it succeeds, it will irrevocably alter galactic relations. It will end, once and for all, the interplanetary wars that have raged since the beginning of time. Right now, I wish you to understand that this is a truly crucial mission of literally galactic importance. I cannot imagine a way in which you might give a greater service than a starseed contract upon planet Earth at this particular juncture. So many Pleiadians are here, right now, serving out their great gift. Before coming here, contractors would have spent time under the tutelage of the returning masters. These are beings who have already completed their starseed contract, ascended their consciousness upon their destination planet, and returned to teach what they know. You would be prepared, trained and taught by the most respected of all returning masters, those that had returned from duty upon Earth. They would have told you what to expect. They would have impressed upon you the great difficulties inherent in this enterprise, the risk of becoming lost in that reality for many lifetimes, the shock of acculturation from the harmonious Pleiadian culture to the abrasive and aggressive Earth culture, the psychic noise upon the Earth that can drive you to the brink of insanity and disable your inherent spiritual abilities, the challenge of knowing that you are different from the Earth humans around, but not knowing why and not remembering your mission. The pain of isolation that most of you would experience as a result of incarnating alone amongst a sea of strangers. The pain of always being considered odd, strange, and even deranged for simply speaking and acting in a way that is right, good, and true for you. And you would also have been told of the incredible wonders of the earth, the natural beauty and diversity that is beyond parallel. For example, shattering, the most difficult part of the fulfillment of a starseed contract, comes first. In order to lower one's spiritual vibration from the high fourth, fifth, or perhaps even sixth density to the low third, you first need to go through a process called the shattering. In principle, one would have to have two experiences, one being a victim experience and the other being a perpetrator experience. But these would have to be sufficiently shocking to the starseed that they would cause a shattering of their belief in their own goodness and the goodness of others. The starseed's belief in their own inherent divinity and the inherent divinity of all others is what is shattered. And to see oneself as mere object of creation. And with that, of course, to believe that all others around you are similarly just mortal, lost, powerless little creations. To say that these experiences are traumatic is an understatement. But this is the only way to disconnect that all is love, that all is one, that all bear a spark of the divine within themselves. So the experience must, by its nature, be traumatic. Being brutalized by others, raped, tortured, abused, being burned at the stake as a witch, being subjected to iterative atrocities as a soldier or as a civilian caught in a war, being buried alive, being rejected by your tribe to starve alone in the wilderness. These kinds of victimizing experiences are the first part of the shattering, a part that allows the starseed to believe that others are evil, wicked, not to be trusted, not worthy of love. And then, with their faith in others broken, the starseed will be willing to defend themselves against the other, to lash out at the other in self-defense. And so, usually in a separate lifetime, starseeds also find themselves perpetrating abuse and cruelty upon others, using their natural gifts and powers to victimize others in their community, leading others astray for their own ego gratification, wreaking havoc, causing harm, and arriving at the end of that lifetime with sufficient evidence to come to a belief that they themselves are wicked and unworthy of love. Without this shattering, you cannot lower your consciousness to the deep duality of the third density, the vibratory frequency of Earth. And if you do not lower your frequency, you cannot be born upon the Earth as one of them, as an Earth human. And so it is that you agreed to this. You agreed to and contracted for the shattering. Repair, at some point, when they are ready to hear it, each starseed feels a call inside their hearts to remember. And so the repair begins. It is slow, patient work. The core of the process is self-love. Self-love, which allows the starseed to find their heart connection again. But no starseed was ever promised that it would be easy. Quite the opposite. It is a challenge worthy of the bravest of souls. And even the bravest are tested to their limits. Even the wisest and the most spiritually connected can get lost in this place, sometimes wandering for tens, hundreds, or even thousands of lifetimes in a state of deep amnesia and spiritual distress before they can be assisted to remember. It happens. But whatever the case, those who stay the course all eventually do awaken, heal themselves right to their previous vibratory level, and return home. The gift giving, the return. With the return, the doors to the galaxy and beyond are thrown open to you. After successfully returning from a starseed contract, especially a difficult contract deep in the densities of forgetting, such as upon Earth, you have endless options as to where you will go next. You have, no doubt, heard of the Ascended Masters. Well, you will join their ranks. And as such, you are deemed to be a useful and desirable co-creator in any one of a vast array of places in the galaxy, performing any one of a vast array of roles. just one of which is to play the role of returning master back upon your home planet, teaching, advising, and guiding the next generation of prospective candidate starseeds. But given what the returning starseed has been through, given the deep self-knowledge, the profound compassion and wisdom, they are free to explore innumerable alternate options. Some like to take a sabbatical period in which they simply travel the galaxy as an emeritus starseed at large, visiting inhabited planets as their heart calls them to do, bringing their gifts and their wisdom wherever they are called, and then usually finding a situation that suits their particular interests and abilities. A place to call home for the next step in their evolution on the journey to oneness, the dissolution. But not every single starseed completes their contract. Most do, but there is always a number who, for various reasons, do not. As much as every starseed is coached and prepared prior to their mission, I don't think a single starseed ever has completed their mission without many times crying out for assistance, saying, "I didn't know how hard this would be." It is simply so that no amount of pre-mission coaching can fully prepare a soul for the shocks and rigors of, first, the shattering, and then the long lifetimes of deep isolation that come from being amongst those who are not of your own soul family. For this reason, it is only fair that starseeds must be able to exit their contract. It must be possible for the starseed to say, "This is too much, I cannot go through with it." And indeed, there is provision made for such a situation into the life map of every incarnation of every starseed. A number of exit events are engineered. This matter is dealt with in some depth by my esteemed colleague, Master 8, a being who watches over all soul contracts in this reality. If you dissent and choose for the dissolution of your starseed contract, then the exit event is fully enacted. That incarnation is terminated. To those who knew you in that life, it then appears that you died, perhaps in some type of accident or some health trauma. This is not seen as failure, and there is no ignominy inherent in taking an exit event. Much good would anyway have been accomplished by such a starseed prior to that exit. To avert confusion, I do wish to make it clear that no exit event is ever planned as a suicide. I have no judgment of suicide, but suicide does cause massive trauma to loved ones who remain behind. For this reason, exit events are not planned in this way. I know, dear ones, that many of you still wonder how they got here and how they will get out of here. Although there is so much information and stories about your origins and what you came to do, but there is a wanting to know more or having absolute proof of it. However, regardless of the doubts that surround you, sometimes there is that spiritual force that all of you carry and that keeps you determined to continue. I know that as much as you are engaged in the spiritual tasks that are your responsibility and that you have made available, at times, the reality of the earth, even different from the high dimensions from which all of you came, hinders and suffocates you. I know, but I also know it has to be you. It had to be you. You were the most capable among the most capable, and it was not I who made this judgment. You were yourselves, in your truths and awareness of your potentials. I invited you on the mission and you accepted. You are the ones who thought you could do it. Merits for your own innate ability and power that concluded yes, it was possible. That it was possible to go into the low vibrations and expand the light from such dense environments as it was in the beginning. You managed to stay connected, somehow, with the source, despite having separated from it quite painfully, by immersing yourselves in that experience. I went to you a long time ago and invited you to this experience, and here you are, the most capable among the most capable, the strongest among the strongest. You chose yourselves. I only emphasize that choice, and I am very proud of it. To know that I have been able to count on you and I will be able to through the ages, because our essence is the same. I know your intense pains in this reality. As I have spoken to you over time with my messages through Neva and other tune channelers. I know of your seed contract, which was also a request from you. At no time were you forced into anything, because you have always had and have options and have always been able to give up. You could always say enough. I can take it anymore. But there you are. Oh, I say with all the truth of my heart, I have deep respect, pride, and admiration for everyone. You can count on me for the eternal ages. Dear ones, the history of Earth goes beyond even your own arrival as seeds of the stars. It goes further. Many of you came after the creation of Earth, and when it was already in full development. Others arrived when it was still forming its layers and dimensions. Still others are the new generation of seeds, which began arriving on the planet in the early 2000s, up to the present moment of your linear time. Here emphasizing the great crystalline arrivals of 2024 to this present moment. There is still a lot of story to tell. There is much to reveal, or rather, remember. And we'll tell you a little more of your history, from when all this started, or at least a little information about when the start was given, so that your memories can open up. It is time for the opening of the 𝐒𝐓𝐀𝐑𝐒. You will be, little by little, reviving this information and remembering all this. For the veils are being removed and your connection with us is increasing. Our messages will also serve as a trigger for those recesses. With its genuine access to your hearts, there is a further expansion to our genuine messages. I say this because, certainly, you know that there are those who, at times, want to impersonate us in a way that can bring discomfort or disharmony. It is important for you to know that your open heart is an excellent compass that guides you along the way. You cannot be deceived if you are lighthearted and enjoy, for your field of protection and your discernment are greatly increased. Feel the energy of our messages. We have special codes in them that make your hearts vibrate, and although many times your minds do not understand it, there is something inside that testifies to the truth of our words, because you are also part of these fleets that communicate with you through the various transmitter channels around the world, not counting also with direct contacts with yourself through your dreams, intuitions, feelings. There are several means for direct or indirect communication to occur with you. Just open it, because you will see and feel our messages everywhere. Thank you for watching.